Welcome back to making a UE5 tutorial every day for the rest of my life. This is day 11, and today we're going to be creating a Interact system. Very, very basic, but just enough that we can use it going forward for future tutorial ideas. And I thought just doing it now kind of paves the way. So the first thing we want to do is, I've already set this up to make sure it's working, of course. So some of these steps might have already been done by me, but I'll still take you through them. So the first thing you want to do is come to where our inputs are, our actions, create the IA Interact by right-clicking and going to Input and clicking Input Action. Once you've created that, head over to your IMC default and just create a new mapping, set it to the Interact, and obviously give it a key. I've given mine the key of E. Once we've done that, the other thing that you'll probably want to create is if we go into here, I've created a blueprint interface. To create that, right-click, Blueprints, and click Blueprint Interface. Open it up, and then you should be presented with a function. Now, I already used this for some other game mechanics I was creating, so I've just created another one called Interact. You can create another one just by clicking the Add button. Give it a name, and you don't need to give it any inputs or outputs. You can just leave it as is, and we can use that. Back in the third-person character now, we want to basically create all the code. And we're going to be using a line trace for this. Interact, you can use collision spheres if you'd prefer, but I always think there's a lot more setup to those, and they can be a little bit more messy. Collision spheres are a bit funny, especially if you have a lot of them in a level, so I always advise the line trace to be better, but each to their own. But for us, like I said, we're going to use a line trace, so we're going to grab that Interact enhanced input action, and what we're going to do is we want just to call a line trace. The other thing that's up for debate is where your line trace comes from. Some people like to have it come from the mesh, some people like to have it come from the camera. I'm one of those people that like to have it come from the camera. So we're just going to get our follow camera, and then we want to get world location, and we also want to get forward vector. And then from here, we're going to multiply, and we're going to swap that out to be a float single precision. And I've worked out about 1,000 is good. It might still be actually a bit much. 500 should probably work as well. It's probably a little bit better actually thinking about it. But for testing purposes, we'll keep it at 1,000. We're then going to add the get world location, and we're going to put that into the end. Then we're going to take our get world location and put that in the start. Once we've done that, we can get our out hit and break it. I've got the wire in my way, so it's making typing very annoying for my microphone. Then we just want to expose that hit actor. And what we're asking is, does object implement interface? And we're going to say BPI interact. So every time we add that blueprint interface to something, we can then call that to say, does it house that? It works very similarly to tags, but you're using the blueprint interface to drive that instead of the tag. But it works in a very similar way. So once we've done that, we can add that to a branch, and then obviously if it comes back true, we can do something. If it's false, we can just kind of ignore it like you would any other object. And then from our hit actor, if it comes back true, we want to call that interact as a message. So what this does is it basically says, okay, let's see if we have something that we can interact with. Does that thing that we've hit also implement the blueprint interface? If it does, we want it to perform that event within the actor that we've hit. So for example, we'd call that message interact, and then the interact would do something. As simple as that. I know, really complicated stuff. But yeah, and that's as simple as the interact actually is. Some things you might want to do just for testing purposes is in the viewport, I've moved the camera over a little bit just to so I don't hit my player. You can also do that with the collisions, but just for testing purposes, I've kept it as is. I've also moved that over, so I'm going to set that back to 0, and then I'm going to take the camera boom this time and just move it over. And that should be a little bit better. I might just pull it up a little bit. Actually, no, I'm going to keep it. I want to keep it level with eye level, so that the line trace kind of looks like it's coming from the player, from the actual character. That's good stuff. Okay, and then all that's left to do is have something call that event to do something. Now, I already have these actors in here that you've probably seen for the last 10 episodes, of wondering what the hell are they. I've just been messing around, learning some new stuff. And for the floaty things, I just decided to have an interact where it actually destroys all of this stuff. Now, that's something completely different, of course, and nothing to do with this game whatsoever, or this tutorial. But it's going to cause an issue because we already have it doing something. But what we can do, so with Blueprint, this is like a second lesson. With Blueprint interacts, we can have as many of these as we want. And any actor that has this, like, so for example, where we call this Blueprint interact, just because it has this doesn't mean it's going to call this unless you have that event that's tied to this in the actor. So if we go into here, we'll talk about the actor. So those actors I have out there, they're all part of a master actor that basically all houses the same code. To do this, we can get this class settings, and we can come down here and we can just add a new implemented interfaces, and we can just add the BPI interact. What this then does is it unlocks these lovely events, technically, that we can call. And as you can see, I've got the event destruction interact, and I've already got the event interact. But just double click on this and it will expose that event for you, and then you can do something. And in this case, I've just got a print string that says interacting, so that we know the interact is working. But if I didn't have this and I tried to interact with it, it wouldn't do it. It would just ignore it like it would any other object. The only thing it would look out for is when we call the event destruction interact, and vice versa. If we didn't have this, it wouldn't do that, but it would just also, it would only ever look out for the interact. So although we have this code, it will only ever fire this event and none of the others. So let's give this a test. If we press play now, we go over and we click E, you can see that it is hitting it and we are interacting. Same with over here, it is interacting with whatever I'm looking at from the camera. Hopefully you found this tutorial useful, especially around interacting in the world. We will be using this interact in future videos. Obviously, if you're new here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It's free to do. It really helps me out. If you have any tutorial ideas, put them in the comments. I've got some backlog from some of you guys. They are coming. I'm looking at them. But thank you so much, guys, as always. I will see you in tomorrow's episode.